Well, it happened. Sometimes unforeseen experiences go down off the side of an interstate. And that is what is happening first thing this morning. Yes, my friends, I am at Buc-ees, the greatest convenience store in the history of convenience stores, located only in Texas.
It's my second channel.
Don't try to steal my intro. It's my second channel, daily vlog channel. It's TheDailyWoo and Buc-ee too. This place has more crazy critters than you can shake a stick at. You can get him in pillow pal form, shooter glasses, shot glasses, stickers, keychains, psychedelic-esque mugs. Yes, this is awesome. He's even a bank. You put your coins right in his noggin. Classic style bumper stickers. Remember to hug a beaver today. This looks like an overflowing ant mound. They even have baseballs, footballs, frisbees. This is a golf club cover. And check out the size of that one. Look at the size of that bucket. The size of their soda section is completely mind-blowing. There is not one biodegradable drinking container option. They're all styrofoam cups. Even have their own line of True Blue cream soda. Got some pretty sweet swag. A cool t-shirt signifying this particular location. A new keychain and some stickers. And my favorite, his head in pillow form. There are 37 locations, but only one of them have I dragged dung through on accident on the bottom of my flip-flop. He remembers. On a side note, this ham, egg, and cheese croissant is legit. This thing is so good. Down this access road, we will connect with another street that in the 1970s was very infamous. The name of the road is Calder. Once you pass these trailers and a few homes, you get into an area where there really isn't a whole heck of a lot. Starting right in here is what is commonly referred to as the killing fields. Up to 30 bodies have been found on this stretch of road, right inside that brush, since that time frame. And almost all of them unsolved mysteries. It's been the subject of many different documentaries and opinions, and even a feature film. There's not a whole heck of a lot to see, and I don't want to focus on the subject matter too terribly intensely. Do your own Columbo-like research skills if you want to figure it out. In fact, maybe Columbo should have been on the case, and they wouldn't be unsolved. So crazy that it was right there. Change of subject now. This place has some really cool old classic cars and trucks. Check out this ambulance. Old school ambulance there. That's the second or third one I've seen of those around these parts in a week. I've noticed more and more of these Goodwills calling themselves a select store. Not just a Goodwill store, but now Goodwill Select. Here's a movie I haven't thought about in a very long time. The Man from Snowy River. I used to watch this a lot as a kid. It's funny, I was just talking about this movie yesterday, and they have it on DVD, The Black Hole. I'm kind of surprised to see this. Fritz the Cat. This is an adult-oriented cartoon. More obscenity and violence than Disney ever dreamed of. I didn't buy anything. I was just doing some window shopping. I always like to look for new CDs every once in a while at a thrift store. New cruising tunes. No luck though. The city of Alvin, it's more like a town really, but you will be excited to know, if you're a baseball fan like I am, that this was the stomping grounds of the one and only Nolan Ryan. His family moved here when he was just an infant, and he lived here up until 2003, so that means his entire Hall of Fame baseball career he resided in this town. At one point they used to have a museum dedicated to him called the Nolan Ryan Center, but it has since closed. Now don't quote me on this, but I think the museum moved to his new town that he resides in. But right there is where his statue used to stand, in front of those flagpoles. It's almost as if it was set up like he was pitching towards the door. He definitely would have broke that window because he had one heck of a fastball. There's the high school, home of the Yellow Jackets. And while attending here playing baseball, he was scouted for the major leagues. It was said that even at this age level that catchers did not want to catch for him because they were afraid they would break their hand. And some hitters chickened out and didn't even want to step up to the plate when he was on the mound. Not only is he in the category of best baseball pitchers, but also best baseball brawls. Back in 1993, he threw a first pitch, hit Robin Ventura. Robin did not like that too much, stormed the mound, and Nolan handled it like a boss. You can look the clip up. It's pretty entertaining. It's a lighthouse, except there's no water around. The guy on 35, hot tamales. I had no idea that the Tim Tracker was franchising in the neighborhood. For a very long time, I always thought this was a made-up word that my childhood friends would use for bugs that hung out in moss and obviously creeks in Texas. Amongst the electrical towers and power lines is that huge cross. I think there's 3 or 4 of them around the greater Houston area. That one, 170 feet tall, I believe. There she is over there. Houston, Texas. I am now at the Memorial Oaks Cemetery. This next subject is very fascinating, but also very, very sad. I'm standing here in the area called Babyland, and next to the sound of the interstate are the final resting places of hundreds of children. I've never experienced losing a child, but I can only imagine the heartbreak must be completely unbearable. I want to focus on one couple and their son. You may remember an entertainer by the name of Tiny Tim. In 1968, he had a very popular song by the name of Tiptoe Through the Tulips. And for horror fans, current horror fans, you also might remember that song. It was used in the movie Insidious. About a year after the success of that song, Johnny Carson had a proposition for him to get married on The Tonight Show, which Tiny Tim did to his wife, Vicky. After they were married, 3 or 4 months later, she became pregnant and she gave birth to a son. But evidently there were some serious complications and the boy did not live after childbirth, making him a stillborn. And the very peculiar thing is they named him It. He was never given a real name, just It. I'm not really sure why, but they just called him It. I'm sure they had their reasons. I'm guessing grief had a big part of that decision. When you're under that kind of, stress and sadness, your mind isn't always working right. I don't know what their mentality was for not giving their child a name. Nevertheless, it is a very interesting part of history. He was a very interesting man, to say the least. You should look him up if you've never listened to his music or seen his interviews. I just can't get over the fact that they did not give their son a name. There's been some very nasty weather in this area the last few days. Houston got some major flooding issues. Luckily, I haven't been stuck in any of that. But the weather could definitely be a little bit drier, that's for sure. I have my camera mounted on the dash. I'm just cruising along very slowly, enjoying the rain. Here comes the rain again, Falling on large Marge like a mystery. I'll see you guys tomorrow, so don't get emotional. Wow, I sound just like Annie Lennox. Not really. Vlog over.